Oh look, another theist is going to tell other theists why atheists do what they do. Don't ask any atheists or anything, just assert that you understand their motivations because you know what they think better than they do. But there's some good ideas here, and he gets so close without actually managing to find the point that he needs to find. So, let's see why he thinks atheists criticize religion, and why, as an atheist, I actually do so.
What's up everybody, this is the first argumentative video that I've done of the year 2017, and I know it's been a little while since I've done one of these. I'm sure you've all missed me. That's a lie. Nobody watches these and I'm pretty sure nobody even noticed.
I didn't even know you existed until I stumbled on your channel, so no offense, I didn't miss you, and I didn't even notice I didn't miss you. Okay, I want to stop you right there for a moment. Do you even know what sophistry is? The definition of the word is the use of fallacious arguments, especially with the intention of deceiving. Now, I honestly started looking at this video, wondering if this guy was a troll or something, but I think I've realized that he just doesn't have any clue what the word actually means. And that kind of says something, doesn't it?
Why do atheists criticize religion?
Because religion is nonsense. For the same reason that we, as skeptics, argue against anti-vaxxers and other forms of pseudoscientific quackery garbage. Because it's important to refute false claims and unsupported beliefs and promote actual reason, rationality, and objective facts in the face of nonsensical arguments to the contrary.
Like, we get it. They don't believe in a god. It happens.
Yes, it happens. It ought to happen a lot more, because these claims about gods are completely unsubstantiated by any objective evidence, and nobody ought to believe this nonsense.
But why do they even bother putting effort into trying to prove that God doesn't exist to people that believe in God?
Because you shouldn't. Because you believe things with no evidence for reasons with no credibility. And because your beliefs inform your actions, when you believe asinine things, that colors how you think and how you act and how you vote, thus harming everyone around you. We do it for the safety and protection of society.
What could they possibly have to gain from this kind of criticism?
If your beliefs didn't impact anyone else, we wouldn't care. There may be people out there who believe in unicorns. And frankly, I don't give a damn. Their beliefs do not impact me in any measurable way. But if those unicorn believers got organized and started insisting that society catered to their beliefs, if they banged on my door on Sundays trying to force the good word of unicorns on me, if they tried to get laws passed that favored their beliefs, then I'd be saying the same damn thing about unicorn believers. But they don't. The religious do.
Many of us have thought, why can't they just believe what they believe and we believe what we believe? It's way too ironic. I can't. These are common criticisms that Christians raise all the time, and I think it's time that we knocked it off.
Christians raise them, or atheists raise them? After all, this video is about atheism, isn't it? You're trying to explain why atheists criticize religion, and now you're saying Christians criticize things? Focus!
First of all, it sounds a lot like you're trying to avoid confrontation and really just make it easier for you to believe in God.
Now it looks like you're just making my points for me, because I agree with that. Theists don't take atheist criticism seriously because they just want to be free to believe in whatever gods they choose without being bothered by those pesky little facts that don't support their beliefs. By all means, go ahead supporting my side.
Let's just embrace the fact of the reality that it's going to be hard to believe. And people are constantly going to make it hard for you to believe.
It isn't hard to believe. People believe idiotic things all the time. It only becomes hard to believe if you become convinced by the skeptics that the things that you believe aren't actually so. If you decide that maybe your opponents actually have a point. But if that's the case, as it certainly should be, then you need to stop believing it, no matter how good it makes you feel.
And if we genuinely believe what we believe, then we should continue to believe even when it's hard to do so.
That's not how rational beliefs operate, but religion is not a rational belief. Rational beliefs are not things that you should cling to whether you have a good reason to do so or not. That's the hallmark of an irrational belief. Any belief that is based completely on emotion and wishful thinking is irrational, and that describes religion to a T.
I think we should be using critics to learn and grow in what we believe.
But you won't, because if you did, you wouldn't keep believing it. Instead, the religious look at critics like they are the enemy, not someone raising interesting points that should be researched and studied to find out if they're valid.
So when a critic asks a question that you don't have an answer to, look for the answer.
Yes, by all means, look for the answer. And if you can't find the answer, that should mean something to you. If you get enough of those unanswerable questions, you should seriously doubt why you're holding these beliefs in the first place.
We shouldn't be avoiding conflict, we should be using it. Otherwise, it looks like we're just ingenuine about what we believe.
This guy's on my side. I love it.
Aside from avoiding confrontation, it should make perfect sense to Christians why atheists criticize religion the way that they do.
Now, normally when I see something like that in a religious video, I'd sense a conspiracy theory coming on. But let's see what this guy does.
At least in the case of Christianity, our beliefs have a significant influence on our worldview and how we make day-to-day decisions, and just big decisions in general. Our beliefs determine how we act. They determine our view of what right and wrong is, our everyday decisions, and sometimes even like where we spend our money. That explanation doesn't really do it justice, but if we believe that Christianity has a significant influence on our lives, then we should understand why atheists argue against what we believe.
That's a point I've already made, but thank you for acknowledging it.
If what we believe is false, then we are letting a lie dominate our entire lives, the decisions we make, and how those decisions impact the people around us.
You're doing really well. Keep it up.
So I think to ask this question, why atheists criticize religion the way that they do, is really to have a low view of Christianity and the significant impact that it really has on our lives.
And it's a swing and a miss. The question isn't, are these beliefs important to you? The question is, should they be? Is there evidence to support the conclusions that you've come to, or do you believe for entirely emotional reasons?
So in this video, what I'm doing is I'm encouraging you not to avoid criticism and criticize critics for criticizing, but engage with critics and use it as a learning experience to grow in your faith.
But only if you're actually interested in growth, which, in my experience, few theists are. They're emotionally attached to the things that they believe, to the point that they go to absurd lengths to ignore valid criticisms of their faith. I know I've said this many times before, but so many of these theists get so close and then go completely off the rails. They say they want open and honest debates with atheists, and then they completely shut down and ignore everything the atheist says just because it disagrees with their heartfelt faith. In order to engage in meaningful debate, you have to be willing to toss aside everything, no matter how it makes you feel, if the debate shows it to be unreasonable to continue to believe. And you wonder why the religious never benefit from these debates. Their intentions are betrayed by the way they phrase it. They want to debate things to make their faith stronger. They never say they want to make their beliefs more true or factual or accurate, because those things aren't even on the table. Those things don't matter. The reason atheists criticize the religious is because the facts don't matter to them, and they should. They need to, but because they don't, we have to point out the utter stupidity of believing in things for emotional, not rational reasons, and theists simply don't like that, because it makes them feel bad. And I'm sorry, but feeling bad is not a good reason to reject a critical evaluation of your faith, especially when it finds your faith lacking. But unfortunately, I'm sure you won't think too hard about that, and that's sad.